We are live.
Hey, great growth, everybody. Today we're tapping in day 6 of our keys to healthier communication and marriage by David and Tamala. Man, so far this plan, this devotion has been phenomenal. From the beginning of you know the tuna fish sandwich argument, um, all the way down to you know really understanding what your significant other is thinking. Like really just getting to the bottom of communication, man. It's something that you just cannot shake. And I know in relationships that's the number one key to building a relationship is you got to talk. You got to talk. You can't assume that people know what you're thinking, and um, yeah, just having a conversation is key. And David and Talent Management talking about that and how to communicate. When you're angry, not going for the jugular, but being able to take the time and just you know settle down and come back and talk about it so that y'all can move forward. It's just been phenomenal. I've learned so much from this plan. What you think, bro? How's this plan been for you?
Oh man, breathtaking. That's all I can say. It's breathtaking. I it just puts you in a position where you're just always just being a sponge, man. Learning, discovering, becoming more selfless. Um, just information. I was ignorant in so many areas, but it's just the tools that help you not plummet. And I think
Yeah,
that's what happens in life. You try to go through and execute, but you don't have the proper tools. Because oftentimes when you spend a lot of time in your own head, you think people think like you. And then when you
yeah,
communicate with them and it's backlash, we have some innate in us to fire back. And it's just like, no, you don't even know the tools. And I think oftentimes hearing that word ignorant offends some people. But if you don't want to use the word ignorant, just misinformed. And then I think how God designed us is that every single day of the year or every year you're supposed to evolve. And the biggest takeaway thus far is I can't be the 2021 Alex with the 2022 Farron. You know what I mean? I'm trying to execute like what I did last year is going to
yeah.
be the right seed for this year. And as men, we supposed to evolve so at least they can understand where we're coming from because they have to evolve too. But if we're
Mhm.
stuck, they're stuck. It's almost like a woman can't pull us down, but we could pull a whole lineage down if we ain't on our job. The
Mm.
generational curse starts with the man. Like we can pull them down, and it's just interesting, just learning just certain tools. It's the tools.
Yeah, yeah. Nate, and as a newlywed man, what's your take on just communication in general?
Um, excuse me. Being a newlywed, but being together, I don't know, 11 years before that, 12, I have no idea.
Right.
We got, since you got married, just kind of forget the numbers. But yeah, it's the most important thing, I'll say. It's the thing
Yeah.
that keeps us sane, with our schedules. It keeps the love growing. I mean, again, I think we're 6 months in now.
Hmm.
It's crazy, it's fast, 6 months in, but communication has been huge, and I've watched how we both evolved over the last 6 months in regards to communicating. Even
Hmm.
when we both kind of like flare up and want to, may go off or something petty, you know what I mean? We've always reverted back to communicating, and that's a testament to our growth, our personal development on ourselves, like both of us doing the work individually, and then kind of like God's grace within the household and us growing spiritually has forced us to communicate and
Yeah.
develop those skills that we didn't necessarily have before.
Right.
I believe a lot of times people fall out early on in their relationships or even some get divorced, and there's this lack of communication.
Right.
But you kind of got to be battle tested to develop that communication, because it's going to, for us, without having children, I know that that's going to be a challenge when we do have children, because it's y'all child. So y'all both trying to figure out how y'all want to raise this child. What's
Mm-hmm.
this? What's that? She might see something different that I don't see. I see it differently because how I was raised, all these different things. So it's like right now, I believe we're being, we're sharpening each other like as iron sharpens iron. I believe that's what marriage is as well. And I believe that right now we're sharpening each other. So when that time does come and God does bless us with a child, we'll be able to properly communicate to where it never looks like an explosion in front of the child. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so that's what this last 6 months has been. We've been, really, really, really working heavily on our communication. Um, as as recent as yesterday.
That's good. That's good. Wow. Yeah. Let's get into devotion, and we'll dive into this more. But real quick, we'll be right back after this.
Let's go.
Let's get it. So, man, it's we're missing our brother right now, and
Yeah.
just definitely want to keep him and his family in prayer. Um,
Yeah.
it's yeah. We just
For
got to
sure.
keep them in prayer.
Yeah, for
We
sure.
love you, bro. If you watching, and whenever you catch this, we just want to let you know that we love you. We love your family, and we got you. Keep you in
Well,
prayers, man.
yeah. We
Um,
getting money too. I didn't realize we had a new intro. I ain't been around in a while. So we getting money. Getting to the bag.
yeah,
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Why not?
yeah, yeah. Let's get it.
All right.
Yeah.
Whew. Never retire for the night angry with each other. Oh man.
Tam is starting off.
All
Tamala's
right.
starting off,
So
so it's gonna be
how
good.
about we switch it up? I'll read and you pray right after. Is that cool?
All right, we can do it like that. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I think you need to pray after this one. never, never retire for the night angry with each other. Tam, the Bible encourages us with these words: "Do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your anger." That's one of the scriptures that David and I turn to frequently when we are engaged in a heated argument. In every marriage, this may mean something different. Some people can talk when they are fuming. Some people need time to hit the reset button before they try to resolve things peaceably. But David and I have decided that at some point in the conversation, we will agree to disagree for the moment, but we will continue in the morning. I don't want my husband to feel punished for a lifetime simply because we had one disagreement. Amen, Tamala. How often has one negative word or one misunderstood comment ruined an entire day? To me, it's not worth it. I love my husband and I know he loves me, so I try my best not to go to bed angry at him. Even if I don't want to cuddle and kiss, I can at least say, "Good night, Daddy. I love you." Discussion questions: where and when do you argue? Have you designated an action plan for having tough conversations? Discuss with each other.
Hmm.
Wow, wow. All right, real quick, dear Lord, we thank you for life. We thank you for health. We thank you for strength. Um, Lord, we just pray as we tap into this devotional, Lord, that we learn something new, and that we apply this instruction that you've given us and these tools. Thank
Yeah.
God for David and Tamala Mann to provide this kind of insight, um, from this experience, from their marriage, Lord. Lord, we thank you for our brother Albie and his family, Lord. I pray
Yes,
that
Lord.
you keep your hands, arms, and protection around his family. Lord, as we continue to pray and intercede, I just ask that you give them a peace in this time, and that this temporary situation, it won't last always, and that he's encouraged in God's covering and his promises. Lord, I thank you for just the love that you've constantly given us. I just pray that someone that listens to this devotional today is blessed by the words, that they're blessed by the tools, and that their marriage and their communication grows so that they can be more effective and efficient for your kingdom, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Holy
Amen.
Spirit, take this conversation. Amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
Where do we start?
I know, right?
Yeah, I'm sure the other days were probably pretty heavy. If this is, day 6,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
retire
they
for
were.
the night angry. This is one that took me a long time to learn, the whole not retiring angry thing.
Mm-hmm.
It mess up your whole day. It'll mess up the next day.
Yeah.
It'll mess up the whole week because you wake up thinking about last night. It's like
Right.
it's a recipe for disaster. You can't even sleep properly. You wondering how they sleeping so peacefully.
Right.
You're going crazy.
Right.
Should be thinking like, yeah, I should just push you off the bed. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, we've actually something we've started doing, and it's been sometimes challenging, but we'll just talk at night.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
instead of arguing, we'll just lay there on the bed, like on our backs, like sometimes not even looking at each other, but just talking, like trying to talk through the issue. You know what I mean? Whether that's
good.
me feeling frustrated or her, maybe raising her voice a little bit or getting frustrated. It's like we still talk it through.
Right.
But that wasn't always the case. Usually we would just sleep back to back. And yeah, that wasn't healthy at all because it would linger on to the next morning and we both, petty pat. So we both wake up in petty mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we notice when we've done this, we've been able to wake up and kind of like put that behind us and then, all right, take the next action step forward to make this day a lot better than that day and not allow a moment to like linger. You know what I mean? Because it really just be a moment of whatever it is. And then I've noticed for me, I've allowed moments to linger far past like a moment. But it should have just been, a 5-minute moment, but it ended up being hours or a day or 2 days. And yeah, so if we did go to bed and we felt like we were frustrated or angry, we wouldn't allow ourselves to go to sleep with that on our heart. We would just try to like somebody say something.
Yeah.
Like, let's just talk.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad that you guys have that in place because, as you said, being like, what's your action plan? And I never thought about it like that.
Nah, me either.
When, what's our action plan just in case this happens? And I just think it's a phenomenal way to be prepared. But I just think in my 10 years, we just learned it through trial and error. Just each conversation or even argument that we may have had, we always went back to it and said, all right, what's the issue? Like really, like what's going on, to make things go down the way that they are, because we on the same team. We on the same team. And I know sometimes earlier on, man, just trying to impose your will on the things that you want for your family, and not always communicating every move that you want to make or every move that you're making. Communication is definitely key, man, because your spouse, your significant other, has to know what you're thinking. If y'all going to do it together, you got to know what you're thinking. But
Right.
yeah, we got that move. We got that practice now. Like you said, Nate, is just not going to bed angry and not going to bed without some sort of conversation. It's,
Yeah,
it does linger. Petty,
yeah. Something
real petty.
something we did, and we didn't intentionally do this. I might have intentionally started doing it. But I heard someone say before that like the key to their relationship or communication was no easy answers.
Mm.
So we kind of do that and it helps us talk through it. So it's like it can't be, oh, I'm good. You know what I mean? It has to be, all right, give me a little bit more.
Right.
And it allows us to have a deeper conversation so I can really understand how you feel. Because I'm not in your body. I can assume. But if there's no easy answers, then you got to explain it to me. And that allows me to understand a little bit better, understand what I'm praying for, all those different things.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah, no easy answers.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
I was just thinking about when we had Billy on last week, and he said, the how do you say when your lady say, yeah, how was work? Oh, it was okay, and that be it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you can really just say, oh, work was, And for me personally, I mean, I think from my view, I open up and talk to my wife about the matters of my heart, and who knows, I think it's a skill. Um, I am of the philosophy if I don't really have nothing to say, I don't really say it. If ain't nothing really change, it's like it's the same thoughts as the same thing. It'll just be a repeat. If anything, communicate how you're feeling. I think that helps arguments, help diffuse the argument. You know what I mean? Because if
Hmm.
you know how somebody's feeling, I think you would at least adhere to what they're saying instead of trying
Mhm.
to punch back, you know.
Yeah.
But I think Tamala got it early. Like, listen, we're just going to disagree. And even if I don't feel like cuddling and kissing, I'm just going to say, I love you, daddy. Something like that. Some people at least know because you will wake up. You may have a nice sleep and you may wake up still angry.
Right. Right. Yeah. I, I think about all the times that we've had arguments, um, which weren't many, but the ones that we've had, they've always changed my view of my wife. And when I mean change, I mean like it just gave me more insight for me to do something better. Like you said earlier on the devotional, you know, argument ain't always a bad thing.
Hmm.
It's two opposing views, and even if y'all agree to disagree, y'all at least got out what y'all were feeling. Because you keep that stuff bottled in, man, y'all blow up on each other, and it doesn't make sense because it takes it, it takes less energy, just sharing rather than blowing up and then being a bigger thing than it has to be. So
I think
it's
I think that's a trained skill that um, before you argue, articulate why you upset. And
mm,
but what you have to do is like what we learned, Les. It was never the tuna fish. It was
right.
always something else pending, and the tuna fish tipped them over.
Hmm.
So it's almost like, and Billy was saying, the last devotion said, unresolved issues is what caused these things. So I think when the argument starts, there was already some things pending that you never addressed, you never talked about, and stuff like that. Then something annoys you, then you come with this rage. So I think of anything, if you want to have a healthy argument, something is going to tip you over and saying, "Let me just tell you why I'm mad. I'm mad
Right.
because you left the dryer door open. I'm mad because I ain't have sex last night. I'm mad because my money is funny. I'm mad because this and that." And then you walk in here with that, it just tipped me off. At least you can say, at least you can at least address.
Right.
And it'd be like, then prayerfully, we could do one thing. We can work one thing at a time. You know what I
Right.
mean? because it's
Right.
like it's never the thing. It's always some other things. Because if anything, um, personal development should always be like your everyday habit of getting better. So if you already got anger issues and you already have a perception of things, you should supposed to just be working on yourself, because there's always going to be a series of things in life that's going to happen that attack your immaturity. And you got to try to
Mm-hmm.
mature where you're immature at, because something is always going to show up in the game. Always. You go like, oh, here we go again. You're going to huff and puff, roll your eyes. What's wrong? Oh, ain't nothing. Like, you just rolled your eyes. So it just shows that something is always wandering that we have to address, because stuff is going to pop up,
Yeah.
try to expose you.
Yeah. Yeah. That was what are those the triggers, right?
Mm-hmm.
These things are man, I know for me, um, like when I was growing up, one of the things that I could not stand is uh being cut off before you can express yourself.
Okay.
And that was a that was something that I experienced. So growing up, trying to have a word, or the last word, or at least get my piece, was always like really important to me. Like you got to hear my piece. You know what I mean? And you don't always have to hear it. And when I mean you don't have to hear it, I don't always have to share my piece um, to be right. And I
Gotcha.
start to think about the perspective. Would you rather be right or happy? You know, you trying to share this point for what? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
And
we think that's the
instead of
method.
just sharing, instead of just sharing my heart, it's just
Right.
like it's just like I'm trying
Right.
to share this intention, this because I'm trying to get you. It's essentially just persuading you,
Yeah.
um, and it's not a good look. And I I see it all the time, just in general. Just in society is how we talk to each other. It's just like you just want to get your piece in. People just want to get their piece in and have a part of it. And I guess it's a social media thing, whatever contributes to it. It's just something that I've seen to be very unhealthy, and it took some time for me to work on that. It took because it was done to me, so I was just always wanting to until Tasha helped me realize, like, look, babe, whatever's on your heart, you could tell me, but we don't gotta always, be here with it. We don't gotta like be beefing. We can just talk.
Yeah.
We can just talk.
Yeah. Man.
It's good that she caught that too.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot
That's
of
what I say.
times people reflect back that energy of kind of like trying to almost trying to outdo the other person, but for her to have that just shows her maturity as well,
Hmm.
which is
Yeah.
really important.
And that's honestly it helped me mature, man. It helped me mature. Cause
Mm,
she's helped me to help me to see what that looked like. What they say, a crooked stick don't know he crooked till you see a straight one. You
right.
know, it it's what I've known,
Mm.
and she showed me something different. You know what I mean? And thank God I've been able to, just be consistent with that. Um, amongst me and her and our relationship, it's been good ever since.
Mm. I feel like that translate also outside of the marriage. Like I feel like the marriage is like the practice where you can really practice and not be in real danger for the most part.
That's
With
good.
that,
That's
like you
good.
can, you know what I mean? So when you are out in, the streets or wherever you are and some type of conflict comes up, you don't explode or retaliate in a way, but you actually learn some communication skills to where it's like, um I hate to bring up this scenario, but it's the most recent, as everybody know. But it's like the Will Smith situation. You have the proper communication skills when your emotions rise. That looks differently. That looks like a behind the scenes conversation. You know what I mean? Or just a scenario on the street. You could be talking to a dude that maybe disrespects your wife, and it's like you want to go inside his mouth, like you want to hurt the dude, but you don't know what he got. You don't know if he got a gun. You don't know what type of time he's on. Now you've got these skills to communicate, and you may just want to go talk to the dude, and then he may even still try to disrespect you, but then from there you kind of disengage and you go the other way. But it's something that you've learned, that you've developed, that can now, keep you and your loved ones out of the way of harm, keep you alive depending on the situation. So I think that marriage is a great place to really gain those skills and practice. Not that you should be going around trying to have conflicts, but if you do, this is the perfect place for me to practice, because this is it's a safe environment. You know what I mean? It's like they're going through getting ready to go to the army or something, and they're going through practice scenarios. It's like, all right, we know it's safe. Like, we ain't gonna die on the practice joint, and it prepares us. So I think that marriages are, since we've been married, I think it's a great place to really develop that patience and those communication skills, because that's somebody you really love. So your emotions are all the way wrapped in. You know what I mean? So I think that is great to practice within the marriage. And then while you're out in, the world with other people interacting, you have those skills that you develop. It's just about utilizing them at that point.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's like marriage has the ability to, there's so many traps set in marriage because, we know we have an invisible enemy that's against it. And, if you see them traps, you adhere to them, you talk about them and stuff like that. I believe it can help you in the workplace. There are many times I even heard husbands say it. I heard wives say it, like, you be out in the workplace or somewhere and someone say something like, man, you sound like my husband. Oh, man, you sound like my wife. It's like, ding, 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 ding. That was supposed to be the training ground. And now it's time to execute out here. Or you could be out with family. They say, oh, man, you sound like so-and-so. It's like, yeah, it's like, I think that's the indicator. Like, don't ignore this. Yeah, don't ignore this. And then there are things, I believe God is so merciful that when you're out in the workplace or wherever you're out, you can learn some good positive virtues that'll remind you of what you should be doing at home. Like, man, you know what? Let me stop fighting this. Let me stop fighting this. And it takes a level of humility at all times.
Yeah.
And I think most of us in life have experienced stuff backfiring on us. Like all that you was talking about, Les, like you want to just say your part, thinking that's going to be the method. Sometimes we say our part and the rebuttal that we get, it hurts us. Won't you grow up? Oh, man, that sounds stupid or something. And you was so ornery to get your point across and you ain't received no dividends. And you're like, man, now you're kind of gunshot to really express the issues on your heart because you got like a little insurance policy like this may happen. And you fearful of saying the very thing that may help you get free because you tried sharing and it would backlash. So
yeah,
it's constant humility. You have to constantly be selfless, and there's no really other way. And for Tasha to put that out there, like, yo, you can just express yourself, that's cool because some people don't have that. They just don't have that. And the worst thing you could do, especially in this plan, is go to bed angry and don't say nothing because you can't assume your spouse know.
Right.
You turn over and go to sleep. I have no clue Farron is mad at me, and it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And then you want to know. I feel like for me, I want to know if you're mad, so I can go ahead and make the adjustment.
Yeah.
Or figure out why, so we can actually get to the root cause of this. Because I don't want it to linger and be something much bigger down the line when it could be resolved while it's still this small issue.
Right.
And I feel like for me, one of my desires in a marriage is to continuously like grow a little bit every day. because
Yeah.
I want a long lasting happy marriage. Like I know it's possible because I've been around it.
Praise
So
God.
people say 20, 30, 40, 50 years. It's like, yeah, I want that. How do
Right.
I get to
Yeah.
that? And it's like, yo, it takes communication and it takes y'all both desiring to grow. Like it
Mhm.
doesn't just happen by osmosis.
Right.
It doesn't happen because y'all just decided to stay together. Because people stay together as well and aren't happily married.
True.
Right.
So it's like I
Right.
want both. I don't want the duration without the quality.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like that's to me that's almost like torture in the sense like we've been together all this time, but our quality is still the same as it was 20 years ago. And
Yeah.
it's like, nah,
Yeah.
that's trash. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's trash. Like if the
Absolutely.
wedding day was as good as it gets, then that's trash. I don't want that.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah, man.
we need that 4K, 6K.
Right.
We don't need to. What is it? Less the 720p. What was you saying?
Yeah, the 720.
It's probably something lower than 720, ain't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this.
Man, this is.
The thing that's challenging is I didn't know this can actually happen. Like where it's like and don't sin by letting anger control you. Don't let the sun go down while you are still angry. I didn't know that you can be angry and not sin, you know. It just
Mm,
seemed like they go hand in hand.
Right.
It seemed like, well, if you anger, like Incredible Hulk is coming out, like
right.
it's not you can really like be angry and sin not. Like how I just thought they always went hand in hand.
Mhm.
Be angry and sin not is almost like if I'm boiling,
Hmm.
the wrath is coming, that's all. So I didn't know we can actually, because when you like it takes things that happen for you to get angry, whether your blood is pumping, your heart, you irate. Like it's just like you can be angry and not sin then. Okay then.
Yeah. I mean, you can do both though. You can sin and not be angry,
True.
and you can be angry
Yeah.
and sin not. It's the scenario I just said. Like somebody disrespects your wife, you
Right.
might want to punch the dude in the mouth in the streets to
Right.
show that you want to protect her. But the reality is, the best way you can protect her is to make sure she's good and get out of that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So you angry for sure, like you
Right.
pissed off, but you don't allow that emotion to rule you. Like I said, control you, and
Yeah.
you step away to where y'all both are safe in that scenario. Because again, God forbid something does happen, you do retaliate from the anger.
Right.
Now you're essentially your sin has put y'all both in more danger than you already were in. And that doesn't mean not to protect yourself either, like self defense. That's a whole different conversation, in my opinion. If somebody like attacks you,
Mhm.
but for you to retaliate in a way where it's like somebody's words cause you to like swing on them or something, you put in it's almost like a pride thing. So I believe that you can be angry and sin not. It's very I would say it's very challenging, but it's very doable as well. There's always like a way out kind of thing
Mhm.
Yeah.
to not sin.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been exposed to some stories where guys are in jail because they couldn't control their members. Like and even when they found themselves in a position where they were trying to defend their family or protect their kid, it cost the family. Whether
Hmm.
they
Yeah.
went to jail, well, something happened and they have a little record. Like that act, in the heat of the moment, everybody was in agreement, but
Right.
there's a penalty. There's a penalty that happened that we're still feeling it. And, I think women have to understand how influential they are. Women are very influential, and every man would like to protect and cover his spouse in any way, shape, or form if he really care and love for her. And I believe it happened in the garden. I believe that nothing happened until Adam ate the fruit. The scriptures say that Eve ate Nothing happened. Then she turned to her husband. He ate, and all hell broke loose. So it's like she had a pivotal role. She was influential and stuff like that, and she handed him that fruit, you know. And I love being a Christian, you know. And there was a scene in the Bible where, you know, Abraham's wife suggested that he sleeps with her maidservant. The wife brung that to him. She was influential.
Right.
Eve was influential. She gave him the fruit. Sarah, she was influential. He slept with her. He had a son. And some historians say that's how Islam was birthed. I don't know. I'm not a Bible scholar, but some say. So what Abraham allowed his wife to do, the wife was being influential. Maybe she didn't know. Eve, maybe she didn't know. And here we are in 2022. This guy took 30 years to get an Academy Award and get an Oscar. He laughed at the joke. Then all of a sudden, I believe some words was exchanged. Jada was influential. And guess what happened? Just like Abraham, just like Adam, a man approached that stage, and it's going to be a penalty. Now, he may not die of bankruptcy, but there's a penalty. And if women can even know the position that they have, hopefully a husband will know the position that he has. If Aaron ever presents something to me and be like, listen, is this a Eve? Is this a Sarah? Is this a Jada Pinkett thing? Because what I'm gonna do is this what this is? I don't even care. Listen, is this a Eve? Is this a Jada Pinkett? Is this a Sarah? Because you feeling some type of way, I'm your husband. I protect you. But if I go execute, you know, it's just one of those things. And if women know, you know, and if men know, you know, maybe we can really get ahead of this. Because sometimes there's something, Nate, you're right. You could be in a market or something like that. You know, you just don't even know. Like, you can just react and you be like, man, you know. And I just think life is always going to set them traps. Now, I just gave Eve, Sarah, and Jada. Man, this thing been going on. We've probably been through some things, you know what I mean? Where we like, man, if I would have just thought, why did I listen to her? You know, it's just unfortunate, you know.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good analogy.
Now I don't only in that one thing with Chris Rock, the only thing I would say like I think what Will did was 100% wrong and stuff like that. The only thing I would give Chris Rock ag about if he knew about the what is it called, Appalachia. She had I don't know how to pronounce it. She had,
Alopecia.
yeah, if he knew about it and he still said it's like that, Chris, like, yo, bro, like, you know, if he didn't know it, I had some mercy. But in the same sense, man, some of them comedians, I've heard some comedians are way worse than that. But I think it stems to the what we learned about, like, it's not about the tuna. I think it was already some other things pending, and Chris Rock tipped them off. You see what I mean? You know what I mean? It was always some. It wasn't the tuna. It wasn't a joke. It was some other stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
I think. I think. You know.
Yeah.
It almost makes you think, and I mean, not to go too deep into their situation, but like, what conversations aren't Jada and Will having for him to be at that point? And I know it's not all in her hands. Of course, you know, she, like you said, she was influential in some kind of way, but like David and Tamala, you know, talks about being prepared. Like, y'all have a you know, a breakdown, a practice that if this happens, how do we respond to it? And I know it was, again, he's dealing with some mental health issues and things like that. That we saw in what show was that, Nate? The one he did on YouTube.
For his book, it was called Best Shape of My Life.
Yeah, Best Shape of My Life. Yeah, you really got to see who he is, and just how he thinks and how he operates. And I just think like what kind of conversations didn't they have to where that blew up like that night with Chris Rock?
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because we see him talk. We see him talk a lot. You know, you say they a lot of their life is on camera, and they talk about some pretty intimate things. Um, but yeah, but without getting into like their business, I just pray that they find a solution to, um, to that kind of behavior.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you can't be popping off at everybody, man. It's like Nate said, man. There's like y'all both said, there's a penalty. There's consequences for it. I think I was listening to Eric Thomas some time ago, and he said, "Man, I don't want my kids to make those decisions that are forever. You know what I mean? Like the one decision you make,
It's
you
true.
jeopardize your freedom, or you
Yeah.
jeopardize, your life.
One
Just
act.
pray, yeah, just one act. A few words that you may say. These
Yeah.
days, words you say, it will cancel you and your whole,
Right.
operation you got
That's your
going
whole
on.
thing
So
up.
yeah, and it's crazy that
Yeah.
this world
One
is that
decision.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, especially if you feed into it. My hope is that, because like you said, it's been talks about that, and I know we're not making this about that, but even though that was about a marriage, all around, that's been, everybody found a opinion to have on that. My hope is that people would be praying for them and have grace
yeah,
for him. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
David was way worse. You know what I mean? It's like
Word
what
up,
we read
word
his
up.
books in the word and quote scriptures, but it's like we don't realize all of these people we read is wilding, man. Peter was slicing dudes' ears off. Like, there's all types of wild stuff going on. It's like, I
Yeah,
mean, he slapped the dude, and that wasn't the best thing you could do. But I mean, there has to be some level of grace because he is human at the same
right.
time. And the people, because people really been tearing him down. It's like y'all
Yeah,
have
they
had
have.
worse scenarios in y'all life with some
Yeah.
some nasty stuff y'all have done. You know what I mean? But at the same time, there's always an agenda to kind of tear somebody down so you can feel more empowered. And I don't know why that's a
Yeah,
thing, but that's what people be on. It's like, yo, my marriage ain't that bad,
right.
but your marriage ain't good either. You know what I mean? It's just like your house is household is
Yeah.
trash. Everything's
hmm
terrible. The marriage is on the rocks, but because he's in the public eye, he does this. Yeah, their marriage is terrible. You go
Yeah.
quick to deflect off
Yeah,
of doing the work in your own household. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. It's just sad. It's unfortunate. I didn't watch the Oscars. I just caught the clip on YouTube and stuff like
same.
that. And it's a guy that commentating was like, it probably would have helped Will if he would apologize to Chris Rock right then and there. He said he apologized to the Oscars, but not to Chris. And
Yeah,
me, and I think they try to find all these little, like, wrong is wrong. It happened. It
yeah,
yeah,
happened. So whether Will or
yeah,
Jada come out with an apology a week later, like, we can't erase that picture in our mind what Ray Rice did to his wife in the elevator. There's certain pictures that you
hmm
just like, man, you can apologize. Praise God. We got visual evidence of like George Floyd. We watched a life leave his body on TV. Like, and that
hmm
cop wouldn't let up. Like, so my man, now you in jail now. I'm glad you apologize. Or if you did apologize or repent, it's just that mark, you just like, man, sometimes it's best to just think. I personally don't know what Adam knew what was going to happen when he ate the fruit. Like, I think when he grabbed it, I don't think he saw, like, in certain actions and decisions that we make, we don't see the shame, the guilt, the repercussions, the constant. Every time someone see, oh yeah, I know why you divorced because you cheated on your wife. Like, everybody, like, it's like a constant stain. So when we make certain acts, we can't see like the future shame. We
right.
just be in the midst and the throes of it. And I
Yeah.
think if Will or if any of us had that kind of discipline and self control, You know, I think a lot of us, we can say today, like, man, I'm glad I didn't do that, or I'm glad I didn't do that, because I
Hmm.
personally believe Will got some regret. I think if he could rewind time, he'd be like, you know, that was stupid.
Yeah.
And to piggyback on what you just said, less the conversations that they're not having. I've been in households where there's a lot of ignorant conversations. Like, if someone says something else about my disease, I'm gonna smack them. Sure
Yeah.
enough, you put that out in the atmosphere. You see what I mean? Like, some people had them count. If I hear one more thing, if I
Yeah.
hear like they're like, this is Ramadan for a lot of Muslims. If one more person asks me am I fasting, they already know I'm Muslim. It's like, I'm just gonna give them a piece of my mind. It's like, there you go. Hey, my man, you fasting? All right, now we're gonna see the Allah self control. What you gonna do? Like, some people say certain things,
Mm-hmm.
and that could have been something said in their house. If someone say something else,
Hmm.
Yeah, it's the real discipline. The real strength is that discipline, man. Being
yeah,
able to, but at the same time, the time to practice discipline isn't when you need it.
mm-hmm,
Hmm.
And a lot of time, you catch yourself in a scenario where your emotions won. And
yep,
emotions are so strong. That's why discipline is so important. And it's like we wait till we get in that situation to try to practice. And it's like, yo, you don't realize how strong your emotions are, do you?
yep,
Especially when it
Hmm.
comes to a woman. You'll do something stupid.
yeah,
For us growing up, our emotions took over a lot, but we didn't do necessarily things to put us in harm, but we did very irrational things for women.
Stupid things.
I
Stupid
remember
things.
riding my bike like 2 hours to a girl's house.
mm-hmm,
Like that's the same as you slapping somebody, honestly.
yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
The
what am I doing
emotions
riding
won.
my bike 2 hours to some girl's house? Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know you like that. And I was like, I gotta get over there. I'll do what? I'm out.
Yep.
Right.
It's like you'll do the
Right.
wild. I remember standing outside in the cold, like going to this one girl I was dating. This was probably like early high school. I would literally go to her house before her, because she went to a different school, before her school bus came, and stand outside waiting with her for the bus, freezing, walking 15,
Hmm.
20 minutes from my own house to
Mm-hmm.
walk to school.
Yep.
That's emotion.
Hmm.
I wasn't thinking logical at all. Like, yo, this is stupid.
Right.
This is stupid. And it's like our
Yeah.
emotions
It's
are
true.
that powerful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it's
Yeah.
something where you have to start to really, really get disciplined. And the word talks about that. It's like, you need to be disciplined in those areas. And unfortunately, like I said, he was in a scenario where the discipline didn't transfer. He was triggered.
Hmm.
For those people who haven't read his book, you should read his book. Because it starts off talking about that, about how he felt like he couldn't protect the women in his life. So
Yeah.
it's a direct correlation of him slapping him. It's for sure. It doesn't make it right, but it's like I get it. I get why it happened. But for him, he needs that discipline. And of course he has regrets. There's nothing he can do to reverse it. It's gonna live on forever. But
Hmm.
people love to kick somebody when they down, man. People love to step in with a boot and just stomp you.
Yeah.
I got a perfect comeback story though, Nate.
What?
It ain't gonna happen though. It ain't gonna happen. I was hoping that like was it you, Les? Did you say Tasha they canceled Bad Boys 4? I thought I heard someone.
Yes. Yeah. It was. It
I think
was.
they
It was on the
postponed it
list.
long.
Yeah. It was on a list of. I don't know. It was some list. It was just talking about all the things that he's been canceled from or
Yeah, they doing a
removed
lot.
from.
They doing
Yeah.
a
They
lot.
doing.
They canceled Bel
Yeah.
Air?
Nah, they better not. I'll be honest. If they try to start canceling Will Smith stuff, they're gonna get canceled.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh
just the
yeah.
reality. You should.
Yeah.
Nah, don't do
Yeah.
that. Don't touch Fresh Prince, Bel Air. Don't touch the movies. Like, let that
Yeah.
man. If you
Yeah.
want to sue him, cool. You know what I mean? Do your thing.
Mm.
But it's like, don't touch the stuff we love. He ain't out here raping women. He just slapped some dude. That's it. It's like, your stuff
Yeah.
happened. They talk.
Yeah.
They hash it
they
out.
they
They'll
done
figure it out.
worse.
Everybody talking about, I'm so traumatized. Like, shut up. Like, people so extra. People, yeah, I can't stand celebrities sometimes. Yeah, they just over
Oh
the top.
man,
Everybody on this like, I was just traumatized by what happened. I said, wait a minute. You was
that's
trauma. Like, I know some traumatic situations. You was
I know,
traumatized.
like
Right.
there's so much
Right.
going on in this world.
You've seen worse.
Oh man, sex trafficking. Like it's so much going on that a smack could say like, oh, nothing can top that. It's like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it's like.
yeah.
Yo, I was just, oh my gosh, the trauma that was built
right.
up in me. I said, wait a minute, you didn't stab a dude on stage, just
I'll
slap you.
tell you, man.
Right,
You
You
watch
know,
right.
fight videos all day long talking about something.
even
I don't
that
know,
it's
people weird.
crazy because you can hear more about this than that George Floyd thing. Like
Oh, for
you would,
sure.
you would
Hmm.
think it.
For sure, man. It's something about, and this
Wow.
is this is, I'm not trying to go off topic, but it's something about a black man or a black woman that's doing incredible things. You got to live a perfect life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He was perfect until he slapped somebody.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's kind of crazy. So,
Yeah, the Oscars
um,
are definitely offended. I'm sure they are upset because that's their brand,
Hmm.
yeah,
and who knows what they're really saying behind the scenes, which would be very offensive to us as blacks. So,
yeah, and it's what they thought about us for such a long time. It's kind of like this ain't
mhm,
that big of a. I mean, it's a big deal, but it's like let's move forward. Like
Yeah,
let's figure out
yeah.
some steps. If they want to take legal actions, which I believe he said he doesn't, make them pay. He ain't gonna go broke. Like we'll figure it out
yeah,
and move forward. But I've seen, scenarios where dudes jumped on stages and pretty much kissed women randomly and all types of stuff. It's like
yeah,
let's pray for him and move forward. Because at first everybody wants to attack somebody before they pray for him or try to understand.
yeah.
And I
Because
think
there's
a
some
lesson.
more intense, vulgar things on social media than that slap.
I can find some right
But I,
now. Some
but
shit.
Absolutely.
I think
10
All
because
day
seconds.
of
long.
who it was, it's almost like, oh, we worship these celebrities. So for a
Yeah, and that's the
celebrity to do
problem.
something like that,
Because you made them idols, and it's like now your
right,
idol let you down. It's like they don't even know
right,
you
Right. They
to
can't
let
make
you
a
down.
mistake.
It's like the
right.
reality is you in the grand scheme of things to them, they don't know you. It's like they haven't let anybody down. If they let their family down or their friends, maybe that's different. But it's like, yo, I can't believe they would do this. But you have no relation to them whatsoever. And you
Yeah,
put them on a
Mm,
pedestal and you made them an idol. So you actually need to repent and
yeah,
go
right.
pray for those individuals.
yeah.
Right.
Because Les, like you said, that Netflix thing I was watching over your house and stuff like that. Um, what is it called? You just said it, Nate. I'm out of my
Best
sheep.
shape of my life.
Yeah, the best ship in my life.
Oh yeah.
There's a populace of people that is upset that Will did that.
Oh, for
Because
sure.
when you're in the celebrity realm, you're supposed to always be looked at. Just show us your house, show us you smiling, just show us that. But he
Hmm.
said, no, I'm going to turn the other coin and show you all the dark stuff. There's a populace that dislike that. So
Hmm.
even though we all three agree that people should extend Will grace, because even though he did all that and that happened at the Oscars, they're like, so what? Work on yourself. You should have worked
Mm,
on yourself before you even came to the Oscars. I understand you
Right.
did all that, but no, we over here because people worship us and we got to keep a certain brand and name, and you came and tarnished our brand. We probably was
Hmm.
skeptical of having you win King Richard after you put that documentary out, but we're gonna give you Negroes a chance. And now look, see, we were wrong. So
mm,
it's just unfortunate that even though we saw him, we saw his humanity. There's a lot of people it's like, why are you that transparent? They don't need to know all that. Now you're forcing me to unveil some stuff.
mm.
Right. Right.
That's good.
Yeah, because I don't think people were happy about that. A lot of people aren't happy about transparency and vulnerability and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's a great movie, by the way, too. Y'all got daughters. Y'all should watch that.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. We
That was,
saw it. It's
oh,
good.
that was an excellent movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
He was
I,
even, but if you, so I'll say this: if you've read his book about how he's felt about not being able to protect people, and then you watch King Richard, where his whole role was to protect his daughters, you can understand why he was so emotional when he started winning awards for this. Because he's
mhm.
won, he's been a box office star for his whole acting career for the most part.
Yeah,
But these
Hmm.
these awards hit so different because for him it was I got to portray this person and protect these two little girls, these 3, 4 little girls.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying, and keep them safe. Because I remember he got an award before the Oscars where he was crying up a storm and he was
Wow.
just letting his emotions kind of flow out, and I thought it was beautiful. And he was like, "Yo, I got to protect them." Like, wow, this is what that feels like. And that was just on camera. And yeah, he's in that mode of his life to where it's like, I'm not gonna allow people to disrespect me or my family anymore. And he just needs better ways to kind of handle that. And
Yeah.
I'm sure after he done it, it was instant regret, and he's figuring it out behind the scenes. I know he's been kind of dark online lately. So he's figuring it out behind the scenes and doing the work. And he has people who are really close to him who probably, are with him, helping him go through this.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Chris Rock is blowing up. it's so
TikTok
backwards.
crazy. But even with Chris Rock, I think he's going through some stuff with people too. Because people are, championing him, but he's also questioning some things of like, maybe I did do this, maybe I did do that. You know what I'm saying? Let me think this through. Because that could have been traumatizing to him as well.
Yeah.
He reminds me of the kid who was maybe bullied in school because he was so small.
Yeah.
So that could be a flashback to that. So it's like it's a lot that went on. Hopefully they have a conversation as men. But it's not it's not a George Floyd situation. So let's move forward.
Exactly. So
let's move forward.
If he knew about the disease and said it anyway, I think Chris Rock, that's a low blow, but I don't think you deserve to get smacked.
Yeah.
Like
I don't think he deserved it. But like I said, it happened. So it's like, all right, what do we do?
But if Will Smith come out with another movie and stuff like that, whatever he do, people are going to flock to it because he's responsible for a lot of people paychecks. Like, so if Will go dark, a lot of people ain't going to eat.
He's just fat.
So it's like you can't really, like he helps a lot of people just by his role in life. So
he gonna be talking to them like Denzel Washington. You mother. He gonna be talking to them spicy. They're gonna turn on me.
Yeah.
I built this. Talking y'all crazy.
Yeah.
Denzel said something powerful to him at the awards. He said, "What did he say? At your highest moment, be careful, because that's when Satan is gonna come."
Yeah, he's been having a lot of like interviews lately too, Denzel, like on some just talking about faith and stuff. It's powerful. It's been real powerful. Him talking about Jesus, faith, all that stuff.
That's good.
That's a sign. It's a conversation for another day.
Wow. Well, you've seen he's had this piece. I mean, at least for what we've seen.
Yeah, because he was like I think if I'm not mistaken, he was on his way to prison.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Denzel had it rough. Like he was out there. His mom made him start working at her hair salon.
Oh yeah,
because he was definitely on his way to prison. He was like, "Yo, I was gone." Like, and my mom had me in her nail salon, and some woman prophesied it to me that I'm going to travel the world and inspire people or something. He thought he was going to be a pastor after that. He thought he was going to be a pastor, and he got heavy into his faith, and then he found out that his ministry would be through his movies. So he was even when he explained it, I was like, man, he's really good at this, because he was very strategic about the movies and how he would manipulate the scripts. I think he said even on like Training Day or something, the way that the guy dies is almost like a serpent dying. And he said he wanted it to look like that, like his character. He was going really deep into like some stuff. I was like, dang, I didn't realize he was on that, Denzel, but it's like a ministry. It's his ministry.
Wow.
Through his movies. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, I like Denzel as an actor.
That dude got some wisdom with him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a dude that's like he's like a Kobe Bryant when it comes to training for acting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he don't he have a new movie out, like a Shakespeare thing or something?
He just dropped something new. I want to check it out though.
Yeah. It's just good, man. It's just good. Never retire for the night, angry with each other.
Yeah, that's big.
Right.
That's big. Well, fellas, I appreciate it. I learned I learned a lot this evening. I mean, I said this morning.
It's
I'm
morning.
still in the bed. Still thinking in the
Word.
bed.
And it's cold out all
Yeah.
of a sudden. It's crazy.
Oh man, it's crazy.
The weather's
It
so
is
up and
crazy.
down.
I was acting up, man. I packed my bags. We came to Delaware as if it was gonna be like super nice. I got my shorts on and stuff. I got my shorts, and then we decided to go outside because the pool inside the establishment wasn't enough. They were doing maintenance, so we had to figure out something else to do. And we ended up walking out to the beach. Man, it was so cold. The wind was howling.
Polar
The
bear
kids
season.
the kids is out there having a blast, man. They running around. They even got their pants and shoes wet and stuff. I was just like, look, man, go ahead and have fun, bro.
I don't do the cold.
Yeah.
Can't do the cold.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I said it was just beautiful. It was just 80 something yesterday. It was freezing. I said, what is going on, bro?
Yeah. That's why we got excited.
The cold,
we did
too. The cold don't want to go away.
Right. Everybody was like, yo, it's Easter Sunday, it's Resurrection Sunday. People got on they you know what I mean? They out here with just shirts on. It was crazy cold. It was crazy.
And to bring out the bubble goose.
Yeah, we turned the heat off in the house. We turned on the air. We was like, yo, it's popping outside.
Oh yeah.
I'm about to go turn the heat back on. They're tripping. So if this was me growing up, I'd be getting cursed out for touching the heat in the air. It's like, I pay the bills now. I'm turning this joint back on.
Yeah, for real. For real. Absolutely. Yeah, fellas. Well, this was good, man. I'm gonna go and try to get some more Z's before we get on the road.
Are you about to head back this way?
Yeah, we heading back, so.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
I'm about to get my day started. So
not to help you out, Les, but it's about 30 degrees right now, like 33. I think it's gonna jump up to at least 50. So, oh
my God,
it's a little warmer than the beach.
Yeah. That's a fact.
Yeah, man. Yeah, love y'all, fellas, man.
All right, man. Love y'all.
Yeah, man. Love y'all too. Peace.
All right, fellas.
Reach out to Albie.
Yes, sir.